Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're going to be returning to Grand Tactician, the Civil War, an upcoming strategy and war game that'll be coming to early access on Steam on August 21st. This is a game that I think a lot of people have been really excited about, yours truly included. And over the last couple of days, I've been taking a look at the grand strategy side of things that allows you to fight the Civil War through a grand strategic campaign where you are able to build and maneuver your armies all throughout the United States during the Civil War and win the war largely on your own terms or your own genius or lack thereof. Or you have the option to fight some tactical historical battles. The game currently has, and this is a preview build, so I don't know what the final tally will be, after it exits early access, but the preview build of the game includes 10 historical battles that you can play through. Over the last couple of days, I've played through the Battle of Antietam from a live stream from I guess 2 days ago now. But in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a different historical battle. It's the Battle of Perryville. Perryville was a battle that was fought in Kentucky in 1862. Arguably, the Perryville campaign, or the invasion of Kentucky, was the most successful of the Confederate invasions of the North. This battle was an interesting one in that the Union had overwhelming forces at their disposal, but due to some interesting acoustics and the confusing way in which the battle was fought, the Union never was able to bring its full strength to bear against a much smaller Confederate force, and so the Confederates were able to largely hold the Union off and win somewhat of a tactical victory, withdrawing in good order following the battle. This is a battle that was also, interestingly enough, fought largely over water. It was scorching hot. The armies were looking for water. Different regiments were looking for water in the unpleasant heat in the Kentucky. I don't know if it's backcountry, but in Kentucky, and they stumbled upon each other and they started fighting each other, and it was a very confused battle. It has a historical significance for me because it was the first Civil War battlefield that I ever went to. It was the only Civil War battlefield I was ever able to go to with my father. My sister actually went to school in North Carolina, and we were taking a road trip across the country to go visit her, and we happened to pass through Kentucky every time we went, and one of those trips, my parents decided to stop at Perryville. And so that was the first Civil War battlefield I had ever been to, and it was the only battlefield I had ever been to until just 3 years ago when I went to Gettysburg for the first time, and then last fall I went to both Gettysburg and Antietam. But, I remember being at the battlefield and being confused as hell. Like, I could not visualize the battle, and I think it's kind of interesting because it was a very confusing battle in of itself. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. We're going to play the battle from the side of the Union, so if this gives me the full 52,000 men, we might crush the Confederates pretty quickly. But I'm going to continue playing as the Union in these tactical battles, at least for now, and then we'll probably play some as the Confederates. The interesting thing is it only gives Don Carlos Buell, the commander of the Union Army, a 1-star ranking, whereas Braxton Bragg, the commander of the Confederate forces here on this day, is given a 3-star ranking, which feels generous for Bragg, but we'll go ahead and jump in. All right, so we're into the battle here. It looks like we've got a couple of orders here. I'm assuming this is General Thomas, the Rock of Chickamauga. The 3rd Corps, Gilbert's, is within 3.5 miles of Perryville, the cavalry being near perhaps 2.5. From all information received today, it is thought the enemy will resist our advance to Perryville. They are said to have a strong force in and near the place. We expect to attack and carry the place tomorrow. Okay, so that was to General Thomas from the Chief of Staff of the Army. And then our orders here for the Battle of Perryville: General Bragg is halted at Perryville and is deploying his infantry. Due to the delayed movement of the 1st and 2nd Corps, the attack plan for 3 a.m. is delayed. 3 a.m.? Would they have really attacked at 3 a.m. in the dark? Until October 9th. All corps are to avoid a general engagement before the necessary preparations have been done and all corps deployed. General Sheridan is ordered to seize Peters Hill after a skirmish between the 10th Indiana, and rebel pickets. Okay. So you can see here, if we go over here to the Army orders, we can see that the Union Army is eager. The Confederate Army's morale status is determined. I don't know the difference between eager and determined. The condition of the Union troops is worse, 70 out of 100 versus the Confederates at 117. The horses in the Union Army are not in great shape. The guns are in good shape in the Union Army, but apparently the Confederate guns are even better. Provisions massively favor the Confederates, forage as well, small arms as well, guns as well. The Confederates have an advantage in terms of the condition of the forces. Now, in terms of strength, it's not quite as clear. The Union has 46,000 soldiers, 3,700 cavalry, and 2,100 artillery. That gives them a 145 to 80 gun advantage. And then again, 46,000 to 23,000 infantry gives them a heavy infantry advantage. Not quite as heavy as the pre-battle piece said, where it said 52,000 Union soldiers were fielded versus only 18,000 Confederates, but still a pretty healthy advantage. And that's the situation. It does say that Major General Don Carlos Buell's fame is bad, his leadership is bad, his initiative is bad, his administration is okay, and his cunning is bad. He's ranking 3. The third ranking? Out of what? There's only 2 commanders. Meanwhile, General Bragg, his fame is 84, which apparently is substantial. His leadership is 16, initiative is 32, administration is very good at 72, cunning 8, and his ranking is number 1. Okay. I'm not a big Bragg fan, but that's just me. All right, so it looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 objectives to take. We've got some geographic objectives to take, all leading to sort of crossing the river at Perryville and taking the town and what looks like a ford beyond the town. You can see our forces are in position over here. I'm rotating. I don't really like to rotate. I love this look, by the way. I just love this map look. If I could fight all of the battles in this map, this view here, this topographical atlas-like view of a battle, I would do it in a heartbeat. If I could take Ultimate General Civil Wars like arrow drawing here to issue directional orders like that, and then just view the game in a map like this, I would love it. I don't honestly even down to here, it just looks brilliant. I don't really feel the need to see this like 3D map. I mean, it's not bad, but I just love the artistic style so much more of this. It just looks so much better. All right, so we've got the 3rd Corps on the field, 19,000 men, 42 guns. It's intact. Its training is poor. Its status is idle. These are the Western armies, so perhaps they're not as well trained here. I don't know. That's not fair. But we've also got General Sheridan here in command of the 11th Division. We've got General Don Carlos Buell is on the field here, Army of the Ohio, 1st Division, 9th Division, and then the 3rd Corps. It looks like the 3rd Corps is the only unit that we currently have on the field if I look around the map. So maybe we'll be getting reinforcements later. Oh my God, I'm going around in circles. I really don't like this rotation. There's no reason to do it. Just give me straight WSAD type movement is my preference. All right, so I'm going to send Sheridan directly over to this objective. What is this objective anyway? To the Bull Lane. So we need to take the Bull Lane, which is apparently over some mountains, and I don't know if these are farm fields or whatnot, but they're definitely hills. As you zoom in, you can see there's a hill over here on the left, and then it kind of has a valley here, and then another hill over here to the right. So we're going to send Sheridan's division over here in to take the Bull Lane or Bill Lane. Meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and send Schoepf over here toward Peters. Not quite clear what that objective is. Doctors Creek, by the look of it. So we'll send him over there. And then we're going to go ahead and send Mitchell's division. We'll leave him in reserve. We'll put him kind of in this valley over here. He'll be able to shift either right to help Sheridan or to head toward the Doctors, the Doctors Creek to assist. So we'll have one division in reserve kind of between the two, and then we'll have one division moving north, one division moving south, and I think that's a good way to maneuver our troops. We'll see. I might be kind of splitting my troops, but they're all kind of in supporting distance of each other. So let's go ahead and play. and let's see what happens here. I'm also going to try something a little bit different than my Antietam playthrough. I'm going to be a little bit less micromanagey. I'm going to try and avoid, issuing orders and rushing my troops before they're ready. Also, apparently I have a brigade of cavalry up here. It doesn't seem to be attached to anybody. Oh, well, actually, that's not... Well, it is attached to the 3rd Corps. But apparently I have a brigade of cavalry that's not attached to any division or brigade or anything like that. So I think what we'll do is we'll send them up here along the northern part of the map toward Gabbert up here. And we'll see if they can, on these hills up here, if they can get a visual down here toward Doctors Creek. So that's the situation right now. Feud own initiative, apparently. So Sheridan would have a feud, wouldn't he? He would do what he wants to do. He would disobey our orders. By the way, that can happen. I don't think I made that clear in the earlier videos of mine. But officers can have feuds with each other, and they can disregard orders from each other or sort of go off and do their own thing. Officers can very much have their sort of own AI influence on their actions. In some sense, it's a little bit like Scourge of War in that way, but it seems to be more directly built in to the game, which I kind of appreciate. I think that's kind of cool to sort of have this element of like feuds between different officers and folks that are kind of in it for themselves. Move up to ×2. You can see the troops are starting to move slowly. I think. What is that division doing? Are they not moving? Well, that's a corps. Sorry. So, did I not issue orders for Schopf to move? Or did my corps commander dismiss those orders? Sometimes I'm not... Let's see here. Do we want to allow initiative? Use roads, use high ground, use cover, detach, and rally. So I think we'll detach the division just because I don't want him taking different orders from anybody. These guys are going over here where Schopf is going based off the orders I gave, so that's good. So I did detach Sheridan, or maybe I just detached the commander. In any event, we'll see. You can see his brigades are moving through the woods in column formation. We've got some artillery moving with them as well. Looks like there's some couriers that just arrived to Sheridan also. We're moving, my lads. Let's march toward the sound of... Well, there's no guns, so maybe we're not marching toward the sound of guns. I still love this map mode so much more. All right, let's go ahead and speed things up a little bit more. I don't want to order Buell to move himself. I just want Buell to move. No, I don't want to do that. No. Don't do that. Shouldn't Buell just follow? That's the thing I don't know how to do, and maybe there's a setting in here, is how do you move your commander without moving the entire force? I just want to move the general so that he's closer to the front, but I don't want to move the whole division or corps. It seems like your officers are tied to their units and all their subunits, so that if you do issue orders to the officer, it then in turn issues orders to the entire the entire order of battle underneath them. Which would be nice if maybe if I right-clicked or something like that, you could not do that. But it looks like Doctors Creek has fallen. So Schopf has moved his division forward to take Doctors Creek. We do have some Confederates in sight near Springfield Pike. So we've taken the first objective, but Springfield Pike is just up the hill. They probably have some good defensive terrain here. If we swing in around and we take a look here, you can see this looks like it could be tough terrain. Woods anchoring the right flank, a hill that you have to go up, and the advance is across open ground. I'm going to wait for the artillery to get into position. We'll see if the artillery starts to fire, and then we'll start to move. Sheridan is still moving through these rough woods to the right flank. So once Sheridan is in position here, then I think he can advance on the flank of the Springfield Pike using these woods and this terrain on his right to his advantage. And that will take some of the potential, risk for the other division moving up the front, so we can attack Sheridan's Pike both from, is it Sheridan's Pike? Or Springfield Pike, from both the front and the flank. That would be the ideal thing to do, assuming there's no Confederates on that objective. Is there a way to... I love the refuse flank option. That's kind of cool. I don't know about attack columns and square, which apparently exists in the game as well. That seems wrong. Although it does look like these AI officers do move on their own, so they are gonna move forward here on their own. So I guess it might be okay. I'm just used to micromanaging every little thing in games like this, because that's usually how it works. All right, so I'm trying to be more patient. I'm trying to go more slowly. All right, so trying not to issue an order every 2 seconds. Confederates have taken Crawford. What is this? They've taken Crawford and they've taken Dyes. They have a brigade in front of this this other objective up here, the Springfield Pike, but they haven't actually taken the Springfield Pike. That makes me believe they don't have a huge formation in there. And again, you can see Buell and Gilbert moving up on their own. McCook arrives. My corps is ready to join the battle according to your orders. With 12,921 men, here for 0 cavalry and 40 guns. The morale is eager. The condition of the men and horses is ready for battle. Well, good to hear. Where are you, McCook? Where's your... All right, so McCook's corps is coming onto the field up near Deep Creek. He's more out of the fight, so I'm inclined to just give orders to McCook as a single, like as a body of troops to come down here. So I'm just going to order him to basically take these roads. I wonder, is this is not the, no way. I was going to say, this is not the same Wilson Creek as in Missouri. Creeks don't go that far. All right, so I'm going to order him to take up positions along this creek, however, so that he can swing south toward Webb and Crawford on his own once he gets into position. But that's going to take a while for him to move his entire corps south, his almost 13,000 men. What is this division doing? What are you doing? Why is the 9th Division forming up there? I want you forward. Also, Sheridan, come on, man. You know what your AI stance is? Assault. You're supposed to move into position. I didn't order you to fall back. Why are you falling back? That just seems like a silly thing for the AI to do. All right, we're going to move the division. Hey, there's a creek called Bull Run here. Huh. All right, we're going to move the division in south of Springfield, of whatever this creek is here. Is there an option to turn the AI off? No, I'm not going to allow any initiative from you, Sheridan. You're going to follow my orders. Wait. Does this mean I can't command him now? I'm confused. Oh, no, there he is. Yeah, so get the fuck up here, dude. Those are your damn orders. Get moving. I guess I gotta wait for the orders to arrive. All right, so he's on the move. All right, Little is facing north. They've now taken the Springfield pike. All right, so I'm also going to turn initiative off for Shokoff, or Schopf, in his division. I'm just going to move his division forward. Mitchell's division's still coming up. Sheridan's not in place yet, but just it's the reality, all right? We've got advantages of numbers. We should be fine. Sheridan also does have a brigade and some cavalry that's swinging into the rear anyway, so even if he doesn't get his whole formation into place, it's fine. The Confederates can take that. I thought I issued orders for them to... Okay. So, again, I need to get used to this delay between when I issue the orders and when they're actually carried out. Because when you're talking distances, I believe all the orders have to come from the commander of the force, which is, he can be far away. This also might be overkill. Oh, our artillery's in action. So he knows we're in his rear. Anyway, sorry, it's times 4, so things look weird. All right, so you can see these guns are firing into the rear of this Confederate brigade over this way. Not sure what brigade it is, but they are firing into the rear there. Good on you, Sheridan. I know you've still got a brigade that's coming up, but you're going to advance. Now, the artillery should really stay in place. I should be able to issue orders to the whole division to move without the artillery, but I guess I'd have to detach the units, and I don't really feel like doing that right now, so we'll just move it as a body. Meanwhile, we've got 3 brigades moving up this roadway here toward the Springfield Pike. I will move this brigade. I wish you would form in a better line there. Some of the formations feel a little clunky. Hopefully that's something that can get ironed out as it moves through early access. So move 2 brigades up to the front there. Nice. There's the artillery firing. You can see the artillery exploding in over the head of the Confederates on the pike. They just disappeared from view. I wonder if there was fog of war that blocked our line of sight on them. Meanwhile, this corps still moving south along some rough terrain here toward Wilson Creek. What are these other notices here? Crittenden arrives. Where is he? Well, shit. We got another corps coming up. And by the looks of it, we've got Confederate cavalry in our way. All right, Crittenden, I'm going to give you the orders to be assaulting. And then I'm going to issue you orders to move north here toward the rear of Perryville. And you know what? Sweep any Confederates aside in your way. So move up from Bloomfield up through these roadways north into the rear of Perryville. You've got another 19,000 men coming online. We can see a large Confederate formation here along Bottom Hill. Quite a few Confederates. Looks like they're lined up behind what might be a stone wall or a wall of some kind. They are maneuvering somewhere. My brigade has made contact with the enemy. Oh, so the Springfield Pike is ours. The Springfield Pike is ours, and we are engaged with enemy infantry over here. How about you advance, my boys? You pin them, you hit them on the front. So you pin them on the flank and then hit them in the front. There you go. Volley fire. Pour it into them, boys. Let them have it. All right, we're going to move that regiment forward. Meanwhile, Sheridan's division's coming up into the rear of these Confederates. Maybe not quick enough. I think the coordination there is probably off. But I don't want to... I'm not going to issue more orders to try and change his orders. I will move the 9th Division forward here. They'll swing north toward Doctors Creek. We'll see Buell will continue to follow up. Meanwhile, we've got... Where is the Corps commander? We've got Mccook coming, facing north. It looks like there's a ford up here, and there's some Confederates that might be defending behind this ford near the Chaplin River or Walker's Bend. We'll cross this ford here near Gammon Hertz, and then we'll probably try and knock out this brigade in our way and then cross again to come south down into the rear of the Confederates here up at whatever this is, Mackville Road or Bottom Hill. Does seem like the Confederates have quite a few troops here in position along Bottom Hill, however. Maybe too many for Gilbert's 3rd Corps to deal with by himself. Crittenden, meanwhile, is coming up, or he's been issued orders to come up. Still, Wheeler's brigade of cavalry appears to be in his way. I should give my troops time to get sorted. I will issue orders for my cavalry to see if they can't hurry those Confederates along a little bit. All right, so Little's brigade is still being engaged. Meanwhile, elements of Sheridan's division are trying to move up, but it looks like we've driven Little off anyway. Whoa, I just heard breaking glass. That was cool. I'm assuming it's claiming like the glass on this building was broken. That's a cool little sound effect there. All right, let's move this division forward en masse. Wait, no, they didn't take Springfield Pike. That's bullshit. My troops are right there still. All right, well, if you want to hold in place, I've got troops coming up a road literally in your rear. You keep doing that, Confederates. What are you doing over here, though? There's a lot of artillery over here. Confederates moving into position here. Quite a few of them. And there's a whole bunch of them up here, too. It's a lot more troops up here than I thought there would be. All right, Mccook. Not sure what the right way is to... How do I cancel your orders? I mean, I'm not sure what the best way... Moving an entire division at once is tricky in this game. I don't know. I guess I'll just let Mccook do his thing. I want him to attack the Confederates up there in the north. But I should largely leave him to do his own thing. Meanwhile, Crittenden, you coming up? Didn't I order you to come up this way? You're just going to disregard... Oh, no, you were still moving that way. I'm sorry. I totally janked up his orders, I think. No, he's still moving that way. Okay, he's just moving slowly. But he is moving. So I can see these troops are maneuvering into position, so that's good. I won't touch that then. Don't micromanage. Someone slap me if I start to micromanage beyond what I'm already doing. All right, so we are engaged in a melee hand-to-hand fight here with this Confederate brigade down here. You can hear the rebel yell or something of it moving there. Meanwhile, the 35th Brigade is coming up. Can't really tell what's happening. Give me a glass. What's happening to my boys? Major, the glasses. I can't see. Sorry. Got my my inner Gettysburg wants to break out. All right. So given the enemy's taken up a pretty strong position along Bottom Hill, although now they're marching south, I'm wondering if it would be better to take up positions to the heights to the south of town and then advance north on their flank. So the 36th Brigade has lost 59 men. I don't know what they've inflicted. The 37th is charging, but they're fragmented. Their melee is bad. I wonder if friendly fire is modeled in this game. So Sheridan's lost 105 men. He's still got 5,400 men in combat. This melee is sure going on for a long time. We got another brigade that looks like it's coming in on the Confederates here. So it looks like one of these brigades, the 37th, is broken and is retreating. Really? You're going to let a lone Confederate brigade break you? All right, so we're getting reports that other troops are making contact with the enemy. Crittenden, your orders are unchanged, sir. Take this objective. I want you to clear the pass, clear those Confederate cavalry out, and swing up and you know, come to our aid. My own cavalry is attempting to clear that pass as I ordered them to. But I'm not convinced my cavalry will do very well versus Confederate cavalry here. It looks like it must be some kind of cavalry charge. Sabers out! All right, Little has fallen back. Barrett is firing into his flank. But we're not in a melee anymore with him. You are the 1st Brigade. In the affections of your general. All right. So we're going to move these guys down here. Ooh, that's a nice little layout there for those troops. And then these troops will move down this way. So we're going to have 3 brigades go at Little. Mitchell's division, the 9th, has lost no one. So we're going to issue orders for them to go here. Sheridan's and the 1st. All right, so Little is broken. You can see he's retreating back there in poor order. So bringing 3 brigades down on top of him was obviously the right decision. So Sheridan, I want you to move down here toward Watkins, toward these hills to the south. I want to try and flank the Confederate position. Now, I think one of your brigades is trashed at this point. So the 1st Division is going to move south of Mitchell. So we're going to form 2 divisions up to the front of this Confederate position on Bottom Hill, and we're going to put 1 to the south. Do I have to click through all of these individual orders? What were some of them anyway? It'd be nice is there an easy way to, we can hide them like that. All right, so Meanwhile, in the south, Crittenden has driven Wheeler back. Stop. Don't let a damn brigade of enemy cavalry deprive you of your objective of moving up on Perryville. I need you to get into position. I need those 19,000 men of yours to unbutton this this position here on Bottom Hill. I am not going to attack with Gilbert's 3rd Corps frontally across this creek and then up a hill through woods against these enemy troops. I'm going to bring 2 brigades to the south under Sheridan to threaten the flank. I'm going to put 2 divisions up front here on the Springfield Pike, and then I'm going to wait until the Rebs can be overwhelmed with Crittenden. Meanwhile, in the north, how are things going here? Mccook is engaging, trying to get across a creek. So there's a big scrap up here. Crittenden's lost almost 1,000 men trying to get across this creek. Problem is it's a narrow ford, so we're kind of cramming troops in here, trying to come across. He's at least pinning a large number of Rebs. I'd like to think he can overwhelm them, but the narrow front of trying to come across this creek in one spot is probably not the most efficient of tactics. These guys engaged? They're firing. Okay, so we've got that brigade in action, the 9th Brigade. The 28th Brigade is also in action. Again, it may look a little janky, but remember I am playing with time compression on at the moment. Why won't they advance? Get out of the damn creek bed. Alright, so we'll let him to continue to attack up there in the north. Meanwhile, Sheridan is in position. Shop is sort of in position. Not quite how I'd like it. Mitchell is in position. Looks like we did have 1 brigade that was shattered. The 37th Brigade. They still have 2,000 men. Why are they still losing casualties? Is that a bug? Looks like they're still losing casualties. I don't know if that's, like, troops routing. Come on, Crittenden. Stop. Get the fuck up here, man. I can't force march you across all that territory, but move! Move your damn men. Your 20,000 men are no good to me down there. At least move them up here. I need support for Sheridan, because I don't think Mccook is going to be able to break these Confederates by himself. It does look like he drove back Donaldson here on the edge of the creek, but he's lost 1,400 men, and he's only pushed back 1 brigade. Looks like they've got some enemy artillery up there, too. Charge those guns, my lads. Oh, nope, you just drove them completely back. Alright, so those enemy guns on the edge of that creek are routed. So is the 9th Brigade, however. Or they're marching. Mccook, where are you going? No, don't. I didn't order you to go over there, did I? I wish there was a clear way to cancel your order. Like, the exit button doesn't do it. There needs to be a better way to, like, cancel your orders, because they chain the orders. Which, like, why are they doing this now? I mean, even if I order them to stop, I don't think they do. That's great. Just run away, my lads. Just do that. Right, so where is Crittenden? Come on, dude. Get the hell up here. Move more quickly. What time is it? It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. This is going to end up being a 2-day fight, probably. Because this guy doesn't know how to march. I shouldn't have to keep telling you to move. You know what? Maybe I should just say don't use your initiative. There you go, Crittenden. I've taken away your brain. You are not allowed to use your initiative. Just move. I don't think I'm going to attack there today. Whoa, it looks like they're moving troops up. Maybe to support the attack there. So in that event, I'm going to move Mitchell now. Where are those troops going? Looks like they're trying to go up and around my flank. So we're just going to launch a frontal and see what we uncover here. Because it seems like the Rebs are trying to concentrate their forces here north, and I shouldn't be moving at ×10 speed, but it seems like they're trying to concentrate their forces north against Mccook. So I guess him pulling back might work out. I'm going to order him to move over toward Open Knob, toward this height over here. And maybe we'll catch the Confederate army between two corps. Because it looks like this Bottom Hill Road or whatever is vacated. No, I don't want to do that either. I'm trying to select shop. Move your division up here toward the rear of the enemy. Mitchell is already engaging the enemy here with good artillery positions here. I don't know who these guys are firing at. They're shooting at someone, it says. I don't see anyone that they're shooting at. Okay. All right, meanwhile, Sheridan has moved one of his brigades across the river to take Perryville itself. So good for you, Sheridan. Now move up toward and take Crawford. We're getting into the rear of the enemy army. The enemy army is all up here near Widow Bottom and Sinkhole Valley, while we're swinging a whole division up into their rear, taking Perryville and Crawford, cutting them off to the north, stuck between two corps of our army. Meanwhile, Crittenden's 18,000 men are coming north. Wheeler's cavalry brigade doesn't seem to be doing anything about it. I'll send the 1st Cavalry Brigade over here to deal with Wheeler. I don't want to ride all that way. We'll send the 1st Cavalry Brigade here. It looks like they might have driven Wheeler off before. They lost about 300 men. So we'll send them over here to engage. Engage the enemy! Give him a charge! Or dismount and fight with muskets. Oh, man! A whole bunch of horses just died there. Rip to the horsies. A bunch of Confederates are dying there, too. Alright, you do your thing there. You hold the flank as the rest of the corps moves north. Turning off the initiative was the smart thing to do, it looks like. 2 Confederate brigades, Wood and Johnson here, routed over here. Meanwhile, we took Bottom Hill. The Confederates have kind of stuck their corps in a bit of a... almost a bit of a noose. Now, McCook's corps isn't in great shape. They've lost 1,600 men. I don't know how hard they can press that direction. Okay. All right, we're going to move Mitchell that way. Move Gilbert up over here, firmly into the rear. If the Confederates turn on me, though, I'm going to be in trouble. Little's brigade is broken. Wood and Johnson are broken. The thing about this battle is the Confederates don't have that many men. So that should help us. At the end of the day, the Confederates were heavily outnumbered at Perryville. The Union just wasn't able to use a lot of its forces. But we've got Crittenden coming up as well. One of our large corps, at least historically, was the size of the entire Confederate force at Perryville. So maybe we'll bag Bragg's entire corps here. You can see Johnson and Wood are retreating east, hopefully to get off the map. We've taken that last objective here, so there's one more objective to take. That's Dyes. Sounds like we are engaged with the Rebs. My cavalry is probably being dumb, or my artillery is being dumb there. Alright, so if you move up this way. Meanwhile, I'm having Mccook advance to the south to engage with these Rebs here. The interesting thing is these guys are holding this ford, so they seem to be moving smartly. Stewart's brigade here is stuck between like 3 of our brigades and is being shredded. Starkweather just was broken, though, by that Confederate force here. A lot of these rebel units, though, are commanders, not actual units. Sheridan's going to hold that objective. I'm going to send one of his brigades to pursue these retreating Rebs. Meanwhile, it looks like our cavalry must have... I don't know where the enemy went. First Cavalry Brigade is shattered by the looks of it. So the rebels shattered them. But they did their job. They held the pass long enough for Crittenden to move north. So we'll move him into good position here to support the other corps, and we'll just hopefully crush the Rebs. All right, so Manny and Stewart are both broken here. It is approaching nightfall, so the Rebs may be able to reinforce and regather themselves. Charge, boys. Give them the bayonet. Charge this artillery. All right. So, Shop, are his troops engaged? Advance, my lads. Advance into the enemy rear. It's a minor victory at this point, but we've taken all the objectives, so I think we just need to inflict some more losses on the enemy. Crittenden is still coming up. We'll go ahead and fast forward here and see if we can't push him a bit. I wonder if I can charge these guys. I know they're broken. Doesn't look like they're going to move against routed troops. Okay, we've got another brigade back here broken. I'm wondering if any of these brigades of ours might rally in the night. Not sure how that works. It's also why I'm leaving Sheridan in place, because I don't want brigades like Johnson to show up behind my lines. Okay, so we'll move these guys forward. Walker is moving on Adams. Apparently I selected artillery. I meant to select. Oh, it's the end of the day. During the night, your army was resupplied. Inspect the situation of your troops. Start redeployment. I'm actually pretty happy with where my troops are. If I can maybe move these guys a little bit to the front. Some of these troops look like they may have rallied. Not all of them, though. Let's see if I can move these guys up. Yep, I can. Nice. Okay. So we'll move them here. So I can redeploy these guys in the middle of the night. In the middle of the night, I was walking in my sleep. Okay. So we'll see if we can't bag us some rebel troops. Move my brigades forward here so that they start the day in contact with the enemy. Hopefully, anyway. Well, actually, we don't want them. We should refuse that flank. Okay. Walker and Steedman. There we go. Meanwhile, it's Crittenden, totally free game. Oh, nice. Let's do this then. Let's deploy his whole corps right behind the majority of the Rebs. Crittenden is just going to open a... Oh my god, those guys are dead. All right, let's put these guys up north here to deal with some of these troops here. We'll put Gilbert's division up north. Oh wait, that's a corps. Shit. Nope, I want Sheridan to stay in place. Sheridan, you'll hold that objective. Mitchell, I still want blocking this road to the south. I just want Schopf facing this one enemy brigade. Actually, let's get him on the other side of the river. This seems a little bit cheap that I can just literally put troops all over the map. But hey, it worked. Go get him, boys. Lol. And the Rebs awake to a massive corps. Just, you know, hey guys, we're like 10 feet away. We're going to hammer you with like 40 guns at point blank range. Oh, do you have troops on this side of the river still? Ha! I'm pretty sure all of these guys just fell off their horses and died. Or pretty damn near all of them. Meanwhile, on the other side of the river where Mccook's troops are, it's a little bit less of a slaughter fest. I should have moved some of this artillery forward. Also, apparently there's artillery right behind me. Huh. That's great. Alright, so we should be able to win this thing now, I would think. Mitchell, move forward. Pretty comfortably, too, I would hope. Okay. So interestingly enough, I think I screwed up my deployment on my flank here and got one of my brigades routed by what looks like a division of Confederate troops down by the sinkhole. It's okay, I'll move Mitchell's division up. There's plenty more troops where that came from. Meanwhile, these three poor Confederate brigades, poor 22nd Brigade, though, is kind of caught between, like, the rebel troops on this side of the river and the other side of the river. But all these artillery pieces in the rear here are just crushing these rebs. You can see my troops are moving up on their own initiative. So we'll speed things up a little bit more here. I'm assuming these two rebel brigades won't last long. It also looks like whatever rebel troops were up here were either broken or retreated. We still have all the objectives, I think. It's still only a minor victory, though. Interesting. Is there anything I'm not holding? Like, do I want to move troops to the off-map spots where the rebs retreat, maybe? I'm not sure. Or do we just need to inflict more casualties on them? Okay, so we took the last objective, or not objective, but we took the last exit point from the Confederates on the map. So they have nowhere to retreat to. Again, I don't know. I don't even know that they have much in the way of troops. We did chase a brigade west past Dixieville Crossroads. There's a couple of commanders and whatnot that still appear to be on the map. Let's go ahead and maybe if we choose a ceasefire, it will end the battle for us. There we go. We got to the end of the battle. So that is a good result for us. The Confederates had 19,000 infantry. They lost 10,000 men. I guess 9,000 retreated off the map. They had 3,000 cavalry. They lost 1,800. 70 of 85 guns. 14,000 out of a total of 24,000 men were casualties. That is a disastrous day for the Confederates. The Union did lose a fair number of troops under yours truly. We lost 9,000 men, 49 guns, 1,100 cavalry, 7,600 infantry. But at the end of the day, that represented less than 1/5 of our total force, whereas the Confederates lost better than 1/2 of their total force. So that is a victory for us. Battle of Perryville, fought near Perryville, Kentucky, resulting in a major federal victory. So I think the key is to wait to the end of the day when the enemy's completely shattered. So all I had to do there was hit the ceasefire button, and that's how we got to the end of the battle. Victory for the Union, and I'm good with that. So it looks like the enemy has withdrawn from the field as night set in. So perhaps if I had done that for Antietam the other day, we would have gotten a victory there as well. But a good result nonetheless, a victory at the Battle of Perryville. I like the battles that they've chosen here. I like the fact that they've got some of the big historical ones that everybody knows about, like Antietam, Chancellorsville, Gettysburg, and then they've got some of the lesser well-known ones, like Perryville, Pea Ridge, and Wilson's Creek. They're not obscure battles by any stretch of the imagination. They're battles that any sort of Civil War buff knows about, but they're certainly not the ones that are usually focused in on in tactical historical battles. Bentonville is the one that really surprised me. You know, the last battle of the war, I think in that sense it's significant, but not actually technically the last battle. There was something fought in Texas, I believe it was. But the last major Confederate field army, you know, Lee had already surrendered at Appomattox, and Johnston had the army along the eastern coast in North Carolina that surrendered at Bentonville. And sort of, again, there was some fighting that still would occur in Texas, but this was the last of the two major Confederate field armies, although this one had been greatly reduced because Hood had taken his troops into Tennessee in that disastrous campaign. Anyway, I'm rambling here at this point. I like the battles they've chosen in this game. I will say that the tactical battles in of themselves, while interesting and fun to play, I think this game is going to succeed or fail based on how well it models the strategic element of the game. I think without the strategic element of the game, there are other games that will probably do a better job on tactics than this game does, but I think this game definitely does a good enough and compelling enough job on the tactics if they get the strategic side of the game to work right. So, obviously this is still a game that has a long way to come. It's not even in early access yet. It's in beta, but I'm definitely enjoying my time with the game. But why don't you guys let me know your thoughts down below? And God, I love the menu screen. This menu screen is so well done. But in any event, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm rambling at this point, so I'm going to wrap it up. Hope you let me know your thoughts below. And until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I'm out.